Great skills again by him. Oh, marvellous goal by Luton.
Welcome to the Rangers Journal.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Rangers Journal. My name is Doug. On Sunday, the 8th of February, ahead of Rangers Scottish Cup fifth round tie against last year's nemesis, Queen's Park. Hopefully, today will be a day for a little bit of revenge and getting through to the next round. To join me today to talk about the match upcoming, I've got Billy and Graham. Billy, how are you getting on?
Yeah, mate, I don't want to call it revenge because we really shouldn't be experiencing defeats to Queen's Park. So it's a bit like the it's not revenge. It's I guess we just can't fall at this hurdle again. We're obviously in a much different position. The manager's doing well, whereas last time Clement was under a bit of pressure, and that kind of cascaded into the defeat to Queen's Park. It was 1-0, wasn't it? It was just a bit of an embarrassment all round, and the manager should have probably walked that night. I'm not saying that's what should happen this time if we're to go down and not win this game, because it's definitely different circumstances. But he was on a sugary peg back then, and he should have walked after that one. It was just humiliating.
Yeah, and Graham, today I find it's excuse me, I find it something interesting, Graham, that we've played Queen's Park 5 times in our history, and we've actually only won once. So today is a day to course correct that record.
Put right the wrongs of last season, we should maybe call it. Yeah, absolutely. We should get a good lift after the result during the week. Scored plenty of goals. Some of the performances in that second half is very good. It's a good time to carry that momentum into the next few weeks. So hoping for more of the same and that we continue to build and get through today. Few goals, confidence boost for a few of us and the players, and then on to Motherwell on Wednesday night.
Absolutely. We've not quite got the teams as of yet, but we're expecting, Billy, to see a pretty wide changed team today. Is there any players in particular you'd like to see that maybe haven't been featuring regularly up till now?
I mainly want to see the 2 new signings that came on the other night there, Nadiri and Romans. So that would be, I mean, Romans looked really, really good when he came on. And Nadiri looked like he had a good few touches in him. So I'd like to see them 2 more than anybody else. I mean, the other guys we know, we know what we've got. And thankfully the ones that maybe would have started today are actually away out of the ones on the sideline. So no, I'm be happy with anybody starting. Giga still gives me a bit of fear, but other than that, and sorry, Max Aarons as well. Other than they 2, I don't really mind who plays.
And what about for yourself, Graham?
I'd like to see Ant-Man get a wee run from the start. I thought he made a good cameo during the week. I don't know, maybe the left suits him better than being on the right. I thought he was a bit more effective. So yeah, I'd like to see a run through for Ant-Man. I think he's made some substitute appearances. It was good to see him get the goal. That will always do players in those positions a bit good as well. So yeah, really like to see Ant-Man. What I wouldn't like to see is those long trousers that the players have under their shorts that a few of them wore during the week. So I'd like to see the end of those as well, I might add. But yeah, looking forward to whoever starts and hopefully a good few goals and give us all a boost.
I don't want to spoil anything. The team is out, and Billy will be pulling that for us right now. But you may be getting your wish. So once we've got that, we'll put it on screen. But I'll read it out for the time being. So we're starting with Kelly gets the nod up front in goals, Butland on the bench. We've got a defence of Tavernier, Giga, Sterling back in the team, and Romans. Then in the midfield, we've got Chukwani comes in, Diomande, and then we've got Ant-Man and Skol Ovsen. And then seemingly 2 up front with Nadiri and Miovski both getting the nod today. I'll come back to you, Graham, while Billy's sorting out the graphic. But there we go, perfect timing. Graham, what do you think of that? Nadiri and Miovski both getting the nod.
Yeah, it's interesting. We always say we'd like to see 2 up front at times. This is maybe a good opportunity to do that in this game today. It'll be interesting to see how Nadiri does with that partnership, but probably obviously Miovski as well, who's looks as if he's been struggling a little bit. So maybe having somebody else up top with Miovski, we might see a bit more from him. Glad to see Ant-Man in. It looks as if possibly Ant-Man will be on the left, Scott Wilson on the right. So that's good news. Kelly tends to be in these cup games, so he's got the nod in goal as well. So yeah, still a very attacking team lineup. So if we were hoping for goals, we've put a team out that should be scoring plenty of goals. So let's hope that's what we get this afternoon.
Absolutely. And Billy, we've got Romans in there, as you were hoping. He made a really, really strong impression to Rangers fans in that game. So we're hoping for more of the same today.
Yeah, definitely. Just like to see him get like a good, I mean, he might not play the full 90 minutes, but see a good 60 minutes of him to see what he's like. But I agree with Graham there. That's a really, just kind of pulling over it, that's a really attacking lineup. I would be surprised if we don't score quite a few goals today.
We certainly hope so. I mean, that game last year was partly contingent on their goalkeeper having an absolute blinder. So let's hopefully he doesn't have another one of those in him. Chikwani, Billy, comes into the team as well. He was the sort of the one signing that didn't get a look in at the Kilmarnock game, and I didn't see it myself, but I did read somewhere that apparently you saw Danny Rule kind of go up to him at one point and kind of give him a wee tap in the back and maybe just say, "Oh, don't worry, your turn is at the weekend." So he's coming in as well. How have you found Chikwani thus far?
He was one of the few players I think got past marks at Hibs last week because he was trying. And if anybody is a Heart and Hand subscriber, there's a Heart and Hand pod this morning that we did for them when we go over Chikwani in a bit more detail. So if you're a subscriber, please go and listen to that over there. Not to divert you away from us, but yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, he was a number 6 kind of converted to a number 8. I would like to see him, I guess, maybe in that number 6 role to free in future to free Raskin up and get him a bit further forward. But we'll see. He looks like he's got a bit about him. Let's get a bit of dig about him. Certainly looks the athletic type. 6'2" as well. So looking forward to seeing him. You know, we can't take things for granted after last season, but I'm looking forward to seeing him kind of boss in midfield today, hopefully.
Absolutely, that has been a bit of a theme in the new signings. They're all kind of big lads, strong, and sort of working on that physical side of the team. Graham, I'll touch on the subs as well. Obviously, with Kelly in goals, we've got Butland on the subs bench. Suter, Matondo, Magoma, Raskin, Gassama, Asgard, Bajrami, and Moore. May's in the comments here saying he's glad that there is no Asgard in the team. Do you think he was due getting a bit of a sit out? His form did seem to have dipped again after a couple of weeks where he was looking a little bit more positive, having scored a few decent goals.
Yeah, his kind of form's been a bit hot and cold, but it's not just his form, it's just how he is in that middle of the park or that 10 position, that being able to get about the pitch, that I think sometimes he slows us down a bit, Doug, when he's on the ball, and he's not quite as aggressive or as quick with the ball as we'd maybe like, or we need to move it, if I'm honest. So yeah, I think it's the right thing to take him out for this game. Looking at the bench, obviously not really a recognised number 9, but I'd like to see maybe one or two of the youth players, if available, to take the spot rather than a Matondo, if I'm honest. And I see Matondo on the bench, just go, here we go. But we know that's somebody out of contract in the summer, and he's just kind of time is running out for him. But yeah, apart from that, very strong bench as well. Apart from maybe the no recognised number 9, Barami's maybe somebody can maybe feel a bit unfortunate not to be getting some starting time today as well. So I'm sure we'll see him at some point. But again, that bench is getting stronger. If you look at where it was a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago as well, really good squad in terms of strength and depth. So very encouraging.
Definitely, I'm sure the boss Scotty is happy to see Matondo Mania still on the go. Looking at that, Billy, a few people, I think, Graham mentioned there the kind of the number 10 position, and I feel like it's become a slight growing position of slight ire amongst the fan base. That there's more and more people, it feels like, are talking about that we should move away from playing that 10. It's been a problem position, or I mean, really that kind of front three in terms of wingers in the 10. We've kind of had issues amongst that for a few years in terms of getting the right personnel in there. Bajrami, Graham mentioned as well, being a player that's was brought in seemingly to fill that role, but then ended up playing mostly on the left and has people playing left. Obviously, it looks more like a bit of a traditional 4-4-2, maybe a 4-4-1-1, maybe. Are you happy to see that Danny Rule is trying new things? Obviously, it was something that it kind of earmarked him early doors because he came in and straight away put the back 3 in to try and combat those long balls, which we've seen come back since we kind of went back to the back four. But is that something you like to see, that the manager is trying different things?
Definitely. And I mean, I grew up with two strikers, Doug, so that's what I'm used to. It doesn't have to be a big man and a wee man, but I do like the two of them up there. I don't like the 10, probably because I don't understand it, really. I don't understand. I'm not in the tactic side of things here, so we don't play with wingers. We do play with wingers. I think Michael Beale said when he was under Gerrard, we don't play with wingers. We play with these two number 10s that are meant to be able to float around. Gassama, he's not starting, but he doesn't work for me playing on the left. So, or is it playing on the? I can't remember which one that doesn't work. Yeah, playing on the right, I think it is. I'd much prefer Olsen to be playing over there. But see, when it comes back to Matondo, I wouldn't have minded him starting games like this. But he's getting a wage. Why not use him? He should be good enough to play in these type of games. I'd be quite happy for him to come on. As regards the formation, this might be the kind of 4-2-2-2 that the manager mentioned, quite a well-known kind of German formation. So it might work like that. How that actually, I mean, I know it's not just two up all through the middle, but it's an interesting one. I don't ever think we need to play with the two holding midfielders. The case maybe would be you're kind of having two players in there if Tav's bombing forward, but is he really bombing forward as much anymore? Doesn't maybe need that protection. Well, so we'll see. Again, I think it's real. I'm really happy that he is trying different things. Yes, of course, because we've seen the problems with the balls over the top, and that kind of. I know you're saying it sneaked back in. It has, but it kind of just almost went away completely when he started playing three at the back. So I'd much rather have a manager that it will, adapt. We all liked that about Gio in Europe, how he adapted after 15, 20 minutes, changed things. So I'm certainly not going to complain about a manager who's seen the problems we've got and changes formation, uses different formations, even more than one in the game. In regards to striker, I think he'll probably pull one of them off and then change formation rather than having to worry about another striker being on the bench. So I would probably suspect Miovski stays on.
Yes, quite possibly. With Elton brand new, and we'll maybe see Romans come off as well. I would imagine, as you said earlier. Graham, what's your kind of thoughts on that area, like the 10 and the different formations?
I mean, just to Billy's point, I wonder if we don't like the 10 because we've never found the right player to fill that role for us and deliver it with what we need. So, I actually think Mikey Moore could do that role and that link-up play between the striker and the midfield. I think he could be really effective in there. But listen, we'll see what the two strikers look like, or one playing off the other looks like today. But, I think some games going forward, Mikey Moore could certainly do that and be very effective in that role. So, listen, we'll see what happens. I don't think the answer has been Asgard. I don't think the answer will be Asgard for the rest of the season. So, and I think there'll be some games where we'll flip back to a flat midfield three, especially maybe tricky away games. So, listen, we'll see what these players can do today and the chance they've got and opportunity they've got to deliver and score some goals. So, hopefully, we're talking really positively in the next couple of hours when we're back on.
Absolutely. If you had to pick someone from that starting 11 that needs to put in a performance today, who would you say that is?
Is that to me, Doug?
That's to Graham. Although I will be asking you the same, Billy. So.
Yeah. For me, and I mentioned at the start, Ant-Man, I think he really needs to deliver a performance. We've seen some glimpses of it during the week. The goal will give him a bit of a boost as well, a wee confidence boost. And if he's playing in his maybe preferred position wide left, I think we really need to see him deliver today, if I'm honest, especially with competition for places really heating up in that final third. So for me, it's really Ant-Man that needs to show. He's been here a while. Yes, he's had some injuries, but he needs to get there and show the supporters, show the manager what he can do today.
And for you, Billy?
I mean, Ant-Man is the obvious one, but if I had to pick a different player, it would be Sterling, just because he'd not been involved in and out the team again. Bit of trouble off the park as well, as if we'd like to believe. So I think he needs to maybe show that he can be a first team player, regular in the team, putting a run of games together. He can only start today, I guess. So just Sterling for me would be the other one that maybe needs to show. I'm not saying he's not showing he's a good player, but maybe needs to show a bit of consistency.
Yeah, that's a good shout, I think. You said you were expecting goals today, Billy. So before we finish, if I can get your prediction for the game.
I think we might even get another 5 or 6, Doug, up in that level. I don't expect to concede any goals. I think the goal we conceded the other night there was purely down to Jack Butland having a bit of a switch off moment. So, yep, 5-0, Doug.
5-0. And yourself, Graham?
I'm going to go for 5-1. I think there'll be goals. I'm still not fully confident of our ability sometimes to keep a clean sheet, although we have been doing a lot better, but I'm going to go 5-1.
I'll just go for the 6. I'll go all out. I'll say the 6 now. I think it'd be really good to get another high scoring game. As I say, a bit of catharsis for the fans as well, just to absolutely demolish Queen's Park with all great respect to them. So yeah, I think that would be nice, and just kind of keep that run going, and because I think that's now the final part of the puzzle. I feel that Roll, he's developed the team, he's improved, he's now brought in players. So he's got us getting victories whether we play well or not, and so the final part of that puzzle is to go from getting victories, play well or not, to getting good victories and making 2, 3-0, 4-0 the standard. So let's do a bit of that. Thanks everyone for joining us for the pre-match. Hope you enjoy the game. I think are all 3 of us back post-match?
I'm back.
Yep. So all 3 of us will be back. Billy will be heading us for the post-match. So hopefully we'll be talking about a nice high-scoring game with lots of goals to pour over. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the cup, any victory is the right victory. So hope your team win. Every night is a Rangers Journal night.